foundation for this furious uprising. Yeah, this isn't just a song, it's our war. Tell it the hill is in the building, no bullshit, only raw truth.
On July 25th, 2025, the FBI, IRS, and federal agents raided a property in Tahunga, California, tied to Shekinah Church and its now well-known leader, Robert Shin, the man at the center of the Dancing for the Devil Netflix documentary. I'll give him this. We can't always believe what's on any documentary based on the Koberger case, but this I do believe. Therefore, he wasn't just a pastor. He was the person running 7M Films, a management company for TikTok influencers. What started as a dance agency turned into what many now call a cult. I don't know, but if y'all have been following me from day one, or at all, then you would know I call what happened in Moscow, Idaho, and God rest their souls, Ethan, Xana, Maddie, and Kaylee. This was a cult situation, and I don't get why nobody wants to pay attention to that fact. But I don't know about you guys. I've looked and started really seriously looking at this world a little differently. Once you see what I've seen, what some of us have seen, people like Bubbly, people who really care about this case, once you see TK, True Killer Crime, once you see what you've seen, you can't unsee it. You can't unknow it. That's sad. So let me make a point here. Just like with this whole 7M, Shin, and Shekinah, the narrative around the Idaho 4 has been, obviously, we all know, tightly controlled. From law enforcement and their bullshit, everything coming out, now the hush-hush court proceedings, we all get the truth now. The truth isn't adding up. The math ain't mathin'. And when you look at things and, look at Moscow, Idaho, creepy little itty-bitty town with its own little, charismatic spiritual figure, its own shadows, and its own weird whispers of cult-ish type control, it gets hard not to ask questions. How many of these puppet masters are literally hiding in plain sight? Is Doug Wilson just like Shin in Los Angeles? Because in my opinion, the narrative around the whole Idaho 4 has also been tightly controlled. From law enforcement and the silence to the hush-hush court proceedings and the gag order. Just like the 7M influencers, literally there's some kind of performative element in how the Moscow story is being presented to the world. It's a narrative, and it's being pushed hard. And, well, most of us know, here you go, Doug Wilson. Christchurch really are no strangers to controversy, really. And from everything from alleged authoritarian control and deep political involvement, he's been called out for lots of things like misogyny, abuse, cover-ups, extreme ideology. Christchurch in Moscow has long raised eyebrows. Bushy ones, I'd betcha. I'd bet my life. Bushy eyebrows. I guess the point I'm trying to make is that it just seems that powerful men that are surrounded by submissive followers, often very young, impressionable, economically vulnerable, broke, you mix that, like evangelical, mixed with commercial enterprise like Christchurch, and what Christchurch has in its hands, such as education that it offers, media, publishing. It's just like 7M had and TikTok. So it's much more similar than I think people understand. Some ex-members have even described Christchurch as cult-like, and that's crazy. And even in leaked audio, Linda Lane, grandson Rory Wilson, his grandson, like his name is stated. What's that all about? So in my opinion, you can compare Christchurch to this 7M TikTok dude. And it's like Doug Wilson's at the top, and he's connected and leads the church. So think of it like the starting point. And then that splits down into different entities like Canon Press, Logo School, and New St. Andrews. I just basically, Doug Wilson's the key figure connecting a church, Christ Church, just like, Mr. Shin over here in LA. It's like one dude's running a mini empire. And it seems like that's what this Mr. Shin over here in LA was doing with 7M. And it's got different outlets, spiritual, intellectual, and the media. What else could they ask for, seriously? I guess my question is just really this. Like, what if it's not just isolated cases? What if both LA and in Moscow, Idaho, faith, fame, and influence, I guess, are being weaponized, like, to exploit young people, like these young adults, cover criminal operations, and literally control a narrative? And I'm not here to claim facts right now. I'm just here to ask what many really truthfully aren't asking. Could both these cases truly be tied to money laundering, trafficking, shadow networks? Could people like Brian be the scapegoat? Most importantly, in my personal opinion, why are these stories so hard to cover? Or fully cover, I guess. And honestly, like, who really profits from silence and violence and everything we've witnessed? I mean, I guess Moscow, Idaho does, but how is this real gain for America with all the silence that's come from literal, tragic, disgusting, atrocious violence? So, I don't know. Drop your thoughts below, you guys. I think it's okay to ask questions. Hit the like, subscribe, notification bell. I will chat with you guys soon, and have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. I appreciate each and every one of you, and Little says hi and bye, like she always does. But have a good weekend, guys. Thank you so much for your support. Talk soon. Stay safe. Until next time, bye.
In memory of Daddy, who laid the foundation for this furious uprising. Yeah, this ain't just a song, it's our war. Tell it the hill is in the building, no bullshit, only raw truth. We ride or die for every soul neglected, every secret kept. Turn up the bass and let our explicit message shatter the silence. Haters, your venom only makes a fire burn hotter. It's time to expose the rod, it's time for real talk. Step up or step aside, cause the revolution